Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, and getting listeners back again with another episode. Yes, this is your only daily Brewers podcast. New videos, pods update every morning, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We try and come up to with fresh topics, new things, cover a little bit of everything. WBC is starting, so we're watching some of those games. And today the Brewers fared off against or played an exhibition against Great Britain. So we'll talk about that. But first of all, make sure you check out the podcast on Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. We like to have an interactive show, so please do feel free to comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. We appreciate all the feedback and all the support. You can also support us at Patreon, Miller Park Minute / Miller Park Minute. Sorry. Or you can use the Miller Park Minute SeatGeek code to get $20 off your first order at SeatGeek on any tickets, especially, coming up with the season starting. We want to use those codes, save you guys that money. That being said, let's get right to it. We've had a couple interview episodes in a row, a couple different guests this week. So we haven't talked a lot about the games, but they're spring training games, so not a lot going on. Today's exhibition versus Great Britain did have some highlights. We had Jackson Churio in there. Jackson Churio got to play with the Major League camp today, which was kind of cool. He went 2 for 3. He had two doubles, a walk, and he scored 2 runs. Touring was 2 for 3, two RBIs, a run, and a stolen base. So today's matchup was really for the Brewers, didn't include a lot of regulars. And that's because a lot of our team is already checked into the World Baseball Classic camps. And this was a nice little thing that they did here today. It was not broadcast. There was no video broadcast of it. So it was all audio webcasts with Levering and Rock. So you could hear the audio, but it would have been cool to kind of see the video as well. Like I was talking about yesterday, I don't know what they're doing with the Valley stuff. I still have some question in my mind with that stuff, so I'm not really sure where we're going with broadcasts or how many more broadcasts we're going to see. I know they released a schedule. I don't have that schedule, and I just play it by the seat of my pants. So that being said, Weimer did get in. Weimer got his first home run, I believe it was yesterday, of the spring. Churio was in there. Van Meter, Hura was in. Brasso, Miller. But a lot of the minor league guys, a lot of guys that you wouldn't expect to see. So they beat Great Britain 8-2. We'll have to give Brew Crew Ball a little bit of trouble on that. It was 2 hours and 50 minutes was the time of the game. 72 degrees outside. And that's really all there is to talk about. I mean, Hauser got 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run. Wilson was out there for 2.2. So these guys are starting to tick up their number of innings. Claudio was only out there for 1 batter. Bush is another piece that they're talking about that's going to be important. Varland is making it very hard to make the decision whether we're going to send him back or we're going to keep him. So that's good. And then Miller was in there as well. So that's the big story today on MLB.com, written by Adam McCalvey. Bush begins build up his critical bullpen role. So we acquired Matt Bush last year. He's had a quiet spring. That's ideal for an established reliever. Unlike the Brewers closer, Devin Williams, Bush did not have to get ready for the World Baseball Classic, so he took his time ramping up his first game action on Wednesday when the Milwaukee Brewers played an exhibition game against Great Britain's World Baseball Classic club. Make no mistake, however, even if you haven't heard his name much this spring, Bush and the Brewers' elder statesman at 37 is critically important to Milwaukee's reshuffle bullpen. We've changed a lot of our bullpen. Matt's a guy who's been out there and had success. Pitched a scoreless 7 thing today. We just talked about that. So yeah, he's a guy that we're counting on. So Council's basically saying, yeah, he's a guy to expect to be on the club, which is good. I mean, it's good to bring a guy like that back. He's kind of had a storied, he's gone through his troubles and things like that. So that's important. I think he'll be an interesting piece to turn out. The other really cool things that I kind of missed over the last few days, Tellez is looking forward to, and he's hyping Team Mexico to win it all. So that's really cool. Adamas said the other day that the World Baseball Classic is like the World Series in spring. So that's another cool one. Right now, it's Team USA has a exhibition against San Francisco, and they're playing. It's 4-1 right now, on the big screen behind me. So, and that's just really cool. It's cool to see these Team USA guys. It's cool to see these guys coming out to play the game, just for the love of the game. You know, you got Trout, you got Arenado, you got Goldschmidt, Mookie Betts, all playing on Team USA. Of course, Devin Williams. Lots of great players on that squad. So we go over to brewfanatic.com. I got to get a video up there today, hopefully. They're talking about the odds for every team for the playoffs. So, of course, when we see playoff odds and things like that, and this ranks every team. So we are ranked down at number 12, 87 wins, 60% chance of postseason, 3.8% World Series, and 115 million. What is that? Payroll? Playoff hopefuls. Yep. So this looks like out of a top 20, we are, and this is a two-parter, written by Aaron Vold. So other notables come in at number 20, Marlins, White Sox, Red Sox, Rangers, Giants, Mariners, Angels, Twins. Then the Brewers, then the Brewers, then the Guardians, then the Rays, then the Phillies, then the Cards. Ooh, they're saying the Cards are going to come above us. So interesting stuff. Sal Frelick has been just an interesting case scenario to watch so far. He has been really fun. I like what we're seeing here. I can't wait till he comes up. Just good stuff happening around the league. There's a lot of talk about prospects right now. I'm not really spending a lot of time on prospects because I want to see what we're gonna have as a major league club. I'm more interested in like battles at second base. Like there's an article here talking about the battle at second base. Luis Urias is obviously in that hunt. I talked a little bit about that with the Butcher last night. I think he'll come around. I mean, we do have other position players that we can use, other options, other guys, but I do think Urias will come around and he'll be ready by the time. You got to figure he missed at the beginning of the year last year too. So, so here's the kind of the news of the day, and this is gonna probably be the meat and potatoes of what I spend the episode on. So, in case you guys already haven't heard, the budget proposal that Tony Evers put out basically was shut down. Essentially what happened is trying to find the exact statements here so I have okay. So basically, from everything I understand, similar deals like this have been made in the past through our state, with the Bucks and things like that. What happened here, though, is Tony Evers basically just wanted to gift the money of $290 million. The problem with that, the big problem with that is the state was getting no return on investment. So basically, they were giving us $290 million to keep the stadium alive, keep the Brewers locked in, but there was no business return on it. So Robin Vos and the legislature vetoed or turned this proposal down. They still want to work on a proposal. They're not saying no to the Brewers. What they're saying is no, the state needs to mutually benefit from it as well, as far as some return here, similar to what they did with when they built Miller Park, the original name of the stadium. When they built that, they were benefiting. They were benefiting from it. I'm trying to find the exact benefit. I think it was on the Journal Sentinel. I can't find it. So essentially, there was a benefit to the state to do that because they were getting additional revenue as well. So this plan that Evers proposed was just giving us part of the $7 billion surplus. And although that sounds good on paper, that's not really benefiting the state in the long haul. So what the legislators want to do is they want to redraft this thing. It's not that they don't want to keep the Brewers. They want to make it more beneficial to the state as well. Whether they take some revenue, that kind of thing. It's not a gift at that point. So, and this money isn't money that can be used for signing players or anything like that. Is just strictly ballpark and renovations and locking up a lease. That's what I'm trying to say. They're just trying to keep them there for the long haul. So, but the state also needs to benefit and make some money. This is a business. They can't just give them the money. Is essentially what the legislators are saying. So the influential stakeholders form a coalition to keep Brewers in Milwaukee. The Home Crew Coalition has one goal: to find a solution to keep Major League Baseball in Wisconsin for the next generation. So basically, a group of influential community leaders and business owners from across the state are forming a coalition to keep it, an effort to keep the Milwaukee Brewers in Wisconsin. The Home Crew Coalition chaired, it's a tricky statement, chaired by Milwaukee area restaurateur and developer Omar Sheik. I apologize if I put that. Has one goal: to find a solution to keep Major League Baseball in Wisconsin for the next generation. The coalition was formed after news that there was serious need for resources to ensure American Family Field can continue to serve as the home of the Brewers. According to the news release from the coalition, the group is comprised of leaders from all corners of the state. Each have their own diverse background. Members of the coalition include Omar, who we talked about, Andrew Deesh, North Central State Regional Council of Carpenters. Mike Grebe, retired attorney, local philanthropist, former chairman of the Republican Party of Wisconsin. Dan Kapanik, lacrosse loggers baseball team owner and former state senator. Tracy Johnson, Commercial Association of Realtors, Wisconsin. Ahsoka Ray, Prevea Health. Peggy Smith, Visit Milwaukee. Jim Vila, Neap, Wisconsin. Rob Zirja, the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, so that's the owner. One major factor that Coalition is using to persuade leaders to keep the MLB in Milwaukee is the fact that the Brewers ballpark has generated an estimated $2.5 billion in statewide economic impact since it's opened in 2001. In that time, the ballpark has gone through 2 sponsorship changes. It began as Miller Park and since renamed American Family Field. The Brewers are a point of pride, generating thousands of jobs, billions in spending. Through collective efforts, the Home Crew Coalition aims to deliver the message statewide and ensure the Brewers can call American Family Field their home for years to come. Then we talked about the money. Basically, like I said, he was gifting that money right out of the surplus, which they need a return. The state needs a return. We have a surplus for a reason. It's a good thing, but we want to keep that surplus, and we want to keep putting it to work for our state. So Governor Evers said back in February, without the investment, the Brewers in Major League Baseball could leave at the end of the 2030 season when the current lease with American Family expires. The proposed investment would maintain, repair, improve facilities in American Family Field so baseball district can meet its lease obligations to the Brewers. The proposal drew some backlash from politicians across the state. So the Home Crew Coalition is asking for people to join their movement. So if you go to the TMJ4 article, you can actually join the movement right there. Again, this is more of that future conversation, but this is important stuff at the same time. Generating and guaranteeing the future of baseball for the state of Wisconsin and the city of Milwaukee is very important. So right now, it looks like they're just trying to find different ways to do this. The important players are putting their heads together and trying to come up with a good solution, other than just straight out handing them cash, which I agree with. So I don't think you just want to give out money out of your excess money, whether it be a small chunk of it or not. You don't want to just do that. So that being said, we are now kind of to that point where I'm going to start. I'm loving this World Baseball Classic thing. I mean, yes, it's 5-1. San Fran over USA right now, but they're getting warmed up. They're just getting warmed up. This is not over yet. So World Baseball Classic is on the brain. That's because it's live baseball. Like it's real games that mean something, that are going somewhere. I tuned into last night's game. I didn't watch the full thing just because I haven't had all the time in the world. So last night's game was 4-2 Netherlands over Cuba. Looks like the end of the fourth, Australia versus Korea, and that's one. Australia's 1-0 there. Looks like Panama beat TPE, and the Netherlands versus Panama is 0-0 right now. So we got more games on the slate. We're gonna have games every day, basically here, which is very important. Otani's going to be opening the Classic for China. We can be huge. Nicaragua here to win. I love the attitude that these guys are coming in with, playing with. They really have the enthusiasm. So right now, the Netherlands is kind of standing at top just because they got the first game in. Panama's won, of course. And we're going to see these pool games. So basically there's the 4 pools going right now, 5 teams in each. And then you get 2 from each that go on to the next round. So right now, we're just watching to see what happens and how these teams play and who qualified. Are all the teams in this match? So we want to see who moves on to the next round. USA has Devin Williams. Mexico has Urias and Rowdy. We got nobody on Great Bitain. Canada, I believe, has Abraham Toro. Wee Chung Wang is playing for Korea. Let's take a look at their game. I want to see if he got a start. Former Brewer, Wee Chung Wang. Axford is playing for Canada right now. So that's really cool to see. Let's see. Sung Ho Kim, Jung Ho Lee, Tommy Edmond is in this game. All right, let's see who's on the Korea roster. Ko. G-Man Choi's out there. This is for Korea. Where's Wang? Yeah, but there's a lot of former baseball players that are in this thing, so it's really cool that way too. But it's also, a lot of our major leaguers. So we're gonna see names that we recognize playing in all these games. We may not know them off the get-go, but that's okay. That's the start. We're trying to learn as we go. So I will kind of talk about this every day, kind of give you an update on the scores that I see. The news that I see around this thing. It's fun. It's fun to watch. I mean, like, this Team USA is like a dream team. When are you going to see these guys play together outside of the All-Star game? And the All-Star game, the difference between this and the All-Star game is these games matter. They're playing for the World Baseball Classic. They're trying to win this whole thing. So it's really cool to see that aspect of it. So it looks like tomorrow, I mentioned the games. Tomorrow is March 9th, or today I should say is March 9th. So China and Japan, Italy versus Cuba. Looks like there's another matchup for China later in the day. And Cuba versus Panama. So lots of games, lots of action. And we got spring training games going on alongside of it. So that's really fun. It's exciting to watch. I'm just looking to see who we got tomorrow on the slate for the Brewers, if we got any big starters starting. So it looks like tomorrow's game is going to be Freddie Peralta on the hill for us versus the Giants. We are 4-7. They are 3-9 in spring training. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's it in a handbasket, man. I just, like, end of the day, you look at this and it's like we got baseball to talk about. We're talking baseball every day, so let's keep this thing rolling. We're gonna go more deep dives, more depth into this current team. I'm really excited by what we got and what I've seen so far. So if you guys have any suggestions and any questions, write into the show, Miller Minute on Twitter. You can join the Miller Park Minute and the Milwaukee Brewers on Facebook. You can message me there. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave us a rating. We appreciate all the new followers and all the people here. If you're coming back on a regular basis, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We're having so much fun. We're making friends out here, and we're just trying to have a good time. So Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Brewers.
Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go Brewers.